Word up.
All right, his voices is Hot937, hot937.com. Big man here. All right, and you know what we do every single week, man. Nothing changes. Nothing changes, man. We like to highlight those people who are doing great things in the community. Now, this brother, I met him. It's probably been over a month or so since
Right.
right. And I told him, I said, look, we're gonna have you on the show because he presented me with some information, and I was like, yeah, we're definitely gonna have you on the show. I was like, just be patient with me, be patient. He followed up, he hit me up, he gave me his information, and I was like, okay, it's go time. And he made it happen. Like not, oh, hold on, man, give me a few days. It was like right away, right? So it's, I'm gonna allow this brother to introduce himself and talk about what he's doing, man. So you know what? I'm handing the mic over to you, brother. Let him know who
Okay.
you are.
Word. Peace, y'all. My name is Tyrone Motley, otherwise known as ZeroSnake or ZeroSnake Media. I'm a Hartford-born artist, man. I love where I come from. I'm very active over here, and notable things I do. I do some fine arts. I do animation. I got a graphic novel that just dropped right when COVID started. So this is a good place to be. I'm happy to be here. As Big Man said, we met up, and I just instantly knew he was somebody that I wanted to network with. So salute to him and putting me on. He didn't have to, and it's definitely much appreciated.
It was that novel. It was that novel that I saw, and I was like, wait a minute, it's a whole animated novel. And let me see if if memory serves me correct. Was it written backwards?
Yeah, you got it.
It was like, so you read it's like you're going to the end and reading backwards it was crazy. I was like, yo, this concept is dope. This concept is so dope. I said, so I was like, I gotta have this brother on because for you to push the envelope like that, it's one thing. It's one thing to write a book or put a novel together. It's one thing to do that. But then to do it outside the norm, right?
Right.
Because most people will grab it and they'll just the regular way that they go, page 1, 2, 3, and to go from the other direction, right? You really took a risk on this. And,
yes.
And for you to believe enough in it and say, you know what, I'm gonna do it this way. Nothing's gonna stop me from doing it this way. How difficult was it to just go ahead and push ahead? Because I'm sure, and I don't know if maybe you shared your idea with some people beforehand, and sometimes that could be a dream killer when you share that idea. But if you did, what were some of the thoughts that you got from people?
Yeah, so that was actually a very big decision that I made early on, from even before making the pages. I had to decide, did I want to, because the style that this book is made in is in the manga format, and the traditional, I wanted to keep the authentic feel of that, So I decided to make it be read right to left. And I know this is hard for a lot of people, so I had to, make a diagram on the front of the book and on the back of the book. But that decision, it stayed true to what I wanted to do with this book over and all. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be different from the moment you pick it up. Like, I wanted to remix what we expect in as many ways as I can. Like, another way is, is a manga, Japanese style manga, but it takes place in Africa. You know what I'm saying? Most of the cast, people with color. So I like taking what we think we know and turn it right on its head. You know what I mean?
Wow, man. His voices, Hot937, hot937.com. My brother Tyrone on the line, right? We know him as ZeroSnake.
Yes, sir.
And Unrivaled. Unrivaled is the name of it, correct?
Right. That's true.
All right. So I want you guys to, first of all, Google this book, Unrivaled, right? And find a way to purchase this, because just the originality in and of itself is worth you taking a look at this. Because when he gave me the book, right, I'm DJing. We're doing a happy hour brunch over at Guilty Kitchen and Lounge.
Salute Dexter.
Look, man, I put some things together. He was like, I want you to have a copy of my book. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna check it out. He was like, and then he started explaining it to me. And I stepped away from the music. I'm like, wait a minute, what? He was like, yeah, it's from right to left instead of left to right. I was like, so I have to go from, he's like, yo. And that was really, and I mean, tell me if I'm lying, but I was like, yo, I gotta have you on the show, man. just from that.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah. You did.
before I flipped the page, right? I had to have him on the show because I wanted you. I can't explain this, right? I can explain my energy, but I can't explain this. And to actually have your book out there and go forward with it, right? Because
Yeah.
most people don't even know where to start, like me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I've been kind of teetering on this whole, yeah, I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna write a book. You know, I'm teasing it, saying whatever, but life gets in the way, especially for me. And then you know, I kind of get in my own way sometimes. But I know that there's research involved in it. What kind of research did you do? Because you, like you said, you did this during the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of things were shut down. You had a lot of time on your hands. And I know a lot of people spent a lot of time complaining, like, yo, when is everything gonna open back up? You, correct me if I'm wrong, you took that time and said, you know what? I'm gonna figure out how to get this done.
Right. Yeah. So I've been working on this book for the past actually I worked on this book for about 5-6 years. And right when I finished it, COVID happened. So, you know, all the conventions we had lined up, all the whole book tour nationwide just got deterred. So, you know, I had to, you know, adjust, you know. So these past 2 years has been surprisingly still great. You know, a lot of people are eager to go out there and find something new, and you know, when they see the book, it's something hot for them. You know what I mean? Sound refreshing. And we found success in a lot of different ages. And you know, since well, you know, since the book came out, it's only been 2 years. We got a media publishing deal with Black Sands app. You got some people might seen them on Shark Tank recently.
Wow.
So if you guys download Black Sands Publishing on your phones right now, you guys can go ahead and start reading Arrival right now. Yeah, man. And then also we even got sneakers that came out to commemorate the book. Since then we got tons of merch. Like
hold up. You still got sneakers for the book. Oh, hold up. All right.
Yeah, yo. We do a big over here, man. And we got a second pair coming too.
Yo, this is something different, man. So you know what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Look. All right. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now we are somewhere else with this, because I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna talk about the book and we're gonna get into the. You got the sneaker. So,
bro, we do it all, man.
Well, you're an artist, correct?
Yes.
So, and this is where, you know, you have that tendency to think outside the box. You have that tendency to think outside the box and really stretch the creative mind. What? Now I have to look at this different, because first of all, you did the book. Then you were bold enough to say, not only am I going to do the book, I'm going to do a sneaker with the book. You had a design for the sneaker, and you know, you're real critical, not only critical about a book, but critical about sneakers, because you have true sneakerheads out here, and it's like, oh no, man, if it don't look this way, good. I mean, you had to have.
If it ain't right, it ain't right, you know.
You had to have sneakers nice.
Yeah, we come from the East Coast, family sneakerheads. So you know, with the first one, I wanted to stay true for like where I came from. So I went with like a basketball sneaker with the high top strap. You know what I'm saying? Bring it back to 2000 era. You know what I mean? For the second pair, we got coming out now is more of an athletic one for like runners and stuff like that. But with the box, each box is actually, well, they're designed by me. It features a character from Unrivaled, you know what I'm saying, in modern gear. So each one's decked out. You know, with a name like Unrivaled, you really gotta be bold with everything you do. So
that's crazy, man. I mean, salute to you. Yo, I respect what you do. Hold on, I gotta give him that round of applause for that, man, because this is so outside the box and it's homegrown, people. So here's the thing. We always talk about, oh, we gotta show support for our own. We gotta show, now is the time to show and prove, because during the pandemic, that was the big conversation. Oh, we gotta support what's here, what's homegrown. This is homegrown. This is homegrown, ladies and gentlemen. So what are you going to do to support it, right? For those people, I know that you told them about an app, but if they want to find out more about you, ZeroSnake, they want to find out more about Unrivaled, they want to see pictures of the sneakers and stuff like, how can they do
Oh, yeah.
that?
Got you. So everyone head over to ZeroSnake.com. So that's ZeroSnake.com. And from there, you can check out mad stuff. Like we got t-shirts out yin yang, the many designs you want, you know what I mean? From there, you can also, like you said, pick up the book. And when you do that, we print our books locally. So you'll be helping out Print Hub over there in Windsor. You know what I'm saying? All about community. So yeah, ZeroSnake.com.
This dude, he's talking about they got all types of merch, sneakers, shirts, big sizes. What's up? What's up with the big sizes, man?
We got everything. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a big fool and I got a big foot.
We got action figures for
we got action figures, y'all. He has
got animated work behind me. I don't know if you've been checking those out, but I've been an animator for over a decade, self-taught, bro. But that's a story for a whole nother time. You got jackets on Unrivaled.com, ZeroSnake.com. Anyway, ZeroSnake.com, man. And if you want to find me on Instagram, it's ZeroSnake.media. And if y'all hip on Patreon, you can find me on patreon.com/unrivaled. We actually turning the book into a motion comic, which is more of an animated version. So brand new junk dropping. Y'all getting it there first.
Yo, listen, man. This already, and this is just in the first few minutes, this dude has unboxed some gems. Cause I'm sitting here like, wait a minute. I was already caught off guard with the book, right? I was caught off guard with the book because the way that it was written, and it was intriguing to me. And I'm like, yo, for somebody to really think outside the box like that, and to be, to be bold enough to say, hey, I know that a book is normally written this way, and this is what everyone's comfortable with, but yeah. I'm gonna be comfortable being uncomfortable and saying, hey, I'm gonna do this an original way, and maybe some people will gravitate towards it, maybe they won't, but this is my vision. I'm gonna stick to it. No one's gonna talk me off of it. I mean, this is a statement to what we talk about here a lot on the show. Believing enough in yourself, and if it's your dream, and you believe enough in your dream, then nothing's gonna stop you, right? You're gonna continue to push forward, regardless of what people say. Some people will say, oh man, that sounds crazy, man. People not gonna support it. But this brother has had this book out for 2 years. He also has merch to go along with it. And it's moving. It's moving, right? Yeah. It's not like, I just happened to stumble across it because we had a networking event. And this is why, you guys need to support these networking events, because you will run into brothers like Tyrone. You'll run into, sisters who are there and everything else, and people who are doing their thing, and people who could maybe motivate you and inspire you to do other things, and also maybe help you make your idea or your dream a reality, because this started from an idea for him to do something different because he's an artist, right? And he thought outside the box. And he said, because I'm thinking outside the box, I'm going to go with it. And the beauty of this is, in his sales pitch, I always talk about the 60-second sales pitch, right? This dude piqued my interest in less than 60 seconds. When he gave me that book, right? I was like, yo, I'm gonna check the book out. He was like, no. But let me just show you something, right? And he showed me that, and I was like, whoa. So we have to be prepared. When you get that opportunity, no long talking, man. Get right to the meat of it, right?
Yeah.
And you did that, and I appreciate it, and I respect what you did, and I respect what you're doing, man, because you have built an empire. You built an empire right now just off what you're talking about, because it's not just off the book. From the book comes the sneakers, then the t-shirts, then the action figures, then the animated series, right? Yeah. So it's a whole trickle-down effect here. This is more than one thing, right? And the way that you presented yourself was so professional and everything else, because you could have just came up like, yo, you know what I'm saying? And either way, we were there to network. Mm. But what you showed me, and your patience and everything, this whole process from the moment that we met to right now, you being on Voices, right?
Yep.
I really respect what you're doing, and your mind is in the right place, and you believe enough that you know what, it's not a sprint. It's not a sprint. It's a
Right.
marathon. It's a
That's right.
marathon. You're gonna take it as it comes,
Yeah.
and so that really, I know that you understand that because of the patience that you've shown with this whole process, right?
Right.
What were some of the roadblocks, Tyrone, that you came across while
Mm.
putting this whole thing together? Because you said this is like 5 years in the making.
Oh
What was
yeah.
some of the obstacles that
Right.
you stumbled across, and how did you, or did you have other people, or how did you just say to yourself, hey, okay, that happened, we're gonna pick up, regroup, and keep going?
Right. Right. Yeah. I guess I could think of two notable setbacks. One would be the frustration of not knowing who do I turn to as a mentor who could tell me the proper routes, and that's a frustration that I had as a child, like not knowing who could teach me how to animate, who could teach me how to do what I wanted to do. So as I mentioned before, I was self-taught, and that's one of the things that resonated with me. So I like to go back, and we actually made our education a part of ZeroSnake Media. Just last year, we actually formalized as a nonprofit due to our long-standing commitment with like local people, like Harvard Public Library and schools such like that. The second thing will be, people, the naysayers, right? So years might go by and they might be like, oh, that his book ain't come out yet. You know what I mean? They might just say, oh, I heard that book never gonna come out. You know what I mean? Or just still working, that book ain't come out yet. But it was, I I had a vision, you know what I'm saying? And I refused to, like, prematurely let the book out. You know what I'm saying? I could have let the book out like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, you know what I'm saying, individual chapter, but I really wanted the book to end at a certain point. So I said, I'm not releasing it until I got these first 9 chapters done. You know what I'm saying? So when I got people hooked, I got them hooked, you know what I'm saying? So, and moving forward, the volumes come quicker, you know what I mean? But yeah, I believed in the project, and not everybody gonna do that. You just gotta have faith in the Most High. That's big with me. God's first. You know what I'm saying? And just stay strong, man.
And
Believe in the product.
man, if you just joining us, it's Voices, Hot 93.7, hot937.com. Big man here. I have my brother Tyrone, and most know him as ZeroSnake, right?
Yes.
And Unrivaled is the book, and everything else has branched off from Unrivaled. So
Right.
what you're looking at, right? What you're looking at is his version of Frito-Lay, right? Understand this because, he started out with one thing and he's branched off with other
Right.
divisions off of this company, but your main company is there. Everything else trickled off. These are all branches.
Exactly.
So whether you know it or not, you've already started your corporation with your sub-corporations, your subdivisions, right? You have multiple companies that stream right back to that.
Exactly.
See, and this brother did that, and now it's on cruise control. And for those people who doubt it, what I want to say to you and to other people who may have those naysayers and they're like this, that's their job. Let them do their job. Your job is to live your dream out. Your
Right.
job is to not give up on yourself, right? And you didn't do that. And so for anyone else who's in that position, and you're hearing those naysayers and those people like, so when are you gonna get it done? When are you gonna get it done? Look, it's I'm gonna get it done when it's supposed to be done, right? And so had he rushed it, he might not even be here right now at this point, because he would have probably got frustrated with it and said, man, see, this is why I shouldn't have done this, and scrapped it. And then he would have started believing in the naysayers.
Right.
But
you know what I'm saying?
When you have that plan in place, and you know that plan is foolproof, you know that you have the machine of you behind it. You don't need the machine of others. You need that machine of you, because as long as you have that unwavering belief system in yourself, you're not going to stop.
Right.
And you didn't stop, and here you are now. I mean, this is, and ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know this brother before we met about a month. I didn't know this brother, right? But the sense of pride that I have in what you're doing, because it's so outside the box. It's so outside the box, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what you know, with your nonprofit and everything else that you're doing, this is crazy. This is crazy. All of these steps over the course of a couple years. Now, did you see it happening like this? Did you see it happen this way?
Yeah, I mean, like, I do, like I said, I believe in the product. I believe in my pen. You know what I'm saying? And I believe my story writing ability. Moreover, I feel like it'll do well because I seen the hunger that, you know, we as a people, like particularly Black people, there's a huge hunger and a love for anime. You know what I'm saying? It's unspoken, but actually it's quite well spoken now. But like, you know, that's why we love Boondocks, right? A lot of time on social media, you might see pre-established characters drawn like, you know, Black or like wearing modern wear, because, you know, we want to see ourselves in pop culture. And, you know, my thing is I want to like, you know, I like anime, but I don't want to just take what's already established. You know what I'm saying? So for example, one thing I tell people a lot is, you know, I like manga, I make manga, but that doesn't mean that I have to make a Black guy and he lives in Japan just all of a sudden. You know, why can't manga be in Africa? You know what I'm saying? And that's a concept that I push and, you know, and challenge, you know. So, and we do see other nations appearing there, but when you see them come to Unrivaled, is that, you know, they heard about what's going on in Africa and they want to see for themselves. So I just like flipping the concept.
Man, this dude is dropping gems up in here. You understand? Here's, you know, just as a backstory, we talked about this before we went live, right? His voice is Hot 93.7, hot937.com. Big man here. I have Tyrone on the line, ZeroSnake Media, right?
Yes, sir.
Here's what we talked about. This platform, the reason why it's here is to inspire folks, right? Because these are people like you and me, whatever. Everyone has, and I feel like everyone has a specific talent. Everyone has something, a God-given talent, right? And it's up to you to discover what that talent is, but it's also up to you to believe enough in yourself and focus enough on that talent that you're able to move forward and make some big things happen and do those things and live that out. Because listen, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. And a lot of people call it time management. I call it action management. I've said it a million times here. It's all about the actions you do within the 24 hours, because you know that the 24 hours are there. It's all about placing your actions in the right place so that it counts majorly for you. And, you know, I think that's where we drop the ball, because we make some things that we want to do a priority over the things that we need to do. Right. Yeah. And you know, I talk a lot about want versus need. And what you did the things that you needed to do, because you could have, I'm sure you had some nights where it was, you know, that party was crazy out there, man. Everybody was going to the party. And you were sitting there working on, you know, finishing up your project, and people probably like, yo, man, you never come out. Yo, you just did that. Oh, this dude is boring. Tyrone is boring. All he want to do is like that. But, you know, it's paying off. It's paying off. I mean, some people, they look at you, they feel like you're strange because you're not doing what everyone else is doing. But you're doing what needs to be done to live out that dream.
Right. And it's funny you say that, because, you know, when I was growing up and I was in school, there used to be a handful of people that I would admit drew better than me, you know, and, you know, when you check on them now, I'm saying they don't draw no more. If they do, they might doodle and it's still on like line paper. And it's like, you know, where's the growth at? You know what I'm saying? So it's not always fun. You're going to have to do the research, and you're going to really like pull your sleeves up, man, and, you know, get your hands dirty. You have to go out there, do events. That's how I'm able to do these quick little pitches, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been out there in the crowd and I heard the feedback, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's where my confidence also comes from. So.
Listen, let's be honest. The most successful people are not the most talented. They're just the hardest working. They're the ones who give up the least, right? Yeah. It's all about how hard are you willing to work. Okay, see, now I'm going to go back to, those people who were my mentors from afar and also from near. And those people who inspired me and motivated me. Everyone who listens to the show knows that I talk about Eric Thomas religiously, right? And the main thing, the thing that drew me to him was his speech when he asked, how bad do you want it? When you want it as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful, right? He was using it in terms of success, but you apply that to anything that you want bad enough. When you want it as bad as you want to breathe, then you will make the sacrifices, you will do whatever needs to be done for it, and you won't give up on yourself. See, when you kind of want it, it's easy for someone to tell you, oh man, that's whack, and you're going to give up. When you want it as bad as you want to breathe, they'll never be able to talk you off that. And so we have to get to that point with ourselves, with whatever it is that we're trying to do, so that we can actually live out our dreams. We can live the life that we want to live, and we can do the things that we want to do, because it has to be fun when your career and the thing that drives your life is the thing that you always wanted to do, the thing that you enjoy the most.
Absolutely.
The thing that you enjoy doing the most. Think about it. You get to work on your art for a living.
Right.
That's what you love to do. So every day almost becomes a vacation for you because you're doing what you love to do.
Right.
So for those people who are right now doing those things that are not making you happy, you're dreading getting up tomorrow, going to a place that doesn't make you happy. Figure out what it is that you want to do, and don't let anyone talk you off of that. Get it done. Don't give up on yourself, because this brother right here is living proof. Over the last 2 years, he has created a machine, right? You're talking book, animated series, clothing, apparel, footwear, right?
Yeah.
Action figures, a nonprofit organization with a curriculum.
Yeah.
All of this in the last couple years. And you mean to tell me you can't make it happen? Let's stop making excuses, man.
Facts.
Wow, this is crazy. This is crazy. Man. Now, so what's next? What's next, man? Because you got so many things covered in about 2 years. What's next, man? What else do you need to check off the list?
Yeah, definitely. So I could tell you about some immediate things going on. Working with the city of Hartford and the Hartford Love Project over there in Clay Arsenal. I'm gonna be designing a bus shelter. Shout out to the people responsible for that, Andre Rochester and Janice Castle from the city of Hartford.
Mm-hmm.
You guys also might have seen my mural already over on Franklin Avenue. Once again, that was City of Hartford Out of the Box program. We also doing some conventions. Later on this year, we'll be at New York, Anime New York, with a big display over there. We just had a successful show yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So we just really out there hoping to pop up events here in Hartford. I know another one, it's Arrowhead Gateway. They have a pop-up event coming soon. Hartford Domingo. If you guys look those up, you guys will probably catch me in person there. So yeah, man. And then as far as projects, I mentioned before, we working on turning the book into new ways to enjoy it. So a motion comic. So which have voices. It'll be available for YouTube, so everyone can watch it. I'm saying for the greater good of it.
Right.
Because I would say since the early stages of animation and media, people of color, we've been depicted poorly. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's in the U.S. or over there in Asia. You know what I'm saying? That's why we have cartoons like the Sambos, or we have like the Mr. Popos and the Jinx from Pokemon and Dragon Ball. We have these racist like depictions of us. So I'm really just trying to get out there, change the narrative as best I can, give our people characters that look like them, and it's not just pandering. Like the stories are actually story first, and then we can see ourselves in it more authentically that way.
Wow.
So yeah, man, a lot of stuff going on.
I like it.
Trying to keep it busy.
I like it. This is inspiring, man, because sometimes we get to a point where, some people may have stopped with the book, and you said, nah, we could do more. Some people may have stopped, with the apparel or the sneaker. Nah, we could do more.
Always more.
Some people may have stopped somewhere along the way. nah, we could do more. And, you know, I appreciate that because that's a statement and a testament to your determination to continue moving forward. Like,
Absolutely.
it's almost as if, okay, book is done. All right, on to the next. This is
Yeah.
done, on to the next. This is done, on to the next. So it sounds to me like you're trying to get the most out of yourself and you're pushing yourself, you know, you can do more. You can do more. You're not getting comfortable with what you have right now, which, I mean, to me, you know, to motivate yourself like that and keep going, what's going to happen is you're going to create like a machine with those people around you. They're going to start to feed off your energy of getting things done. They're going to start, you know, doing so much stuff. And so what we have to do is understand that that thing that's within us, and we have to believe enough and trust ourselves. Because sometimes I think we don't even trust ourselves to win. And some people don't even think that it's possible. Some people think, they might think, you know, if you told them this story, hey man, if you really get started on this and you put your best foot forward, man, in the next year and a half, 2 years, and not only will you have a book out, man, but you'll be doing this, doing that. Sounds too good to be true. Why? Why?
Yeah.
Because that statement baffles me, and it's almost negative self-talk. Because if you believe that it sounds too good to be true, then you think that positivity is not supposed to happen for you.
Right. You gotta have that Malcolm X by any means necessary, man.
Exactly.
And that's really how it goes. Yeah.
And so it sounds like you believe that good things are supposed to happen for you, and you believe by any means necessary. You've already made up in your mind, you know what? Nah, if it's good and it's out there, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get mine. What would you tell that person?
I've been there, man.
Yeah, what would you tell that person who's struggling to just put pen to paper? Like, they've been saying, you know, look, I want to write this book, man. I want to get started. I just don't know how to get started. What would you tell them?
Yeah, so I would say, you know your budget, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're somebody, you might just have $100 that you might could spare every month.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if your drawing ability isn't up to par, then, you know, you find somebody. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of ways you can find someone online now, contractor. You know, maybe you just get 1 page done a month. But, you know, after a year, you got 12 pages done, and then, you know, you probably release a single issue. You know what I'm saying? That's a slow example. You know, if you like me and you can draw, and you have that mindset of, you know what I'm saying, by any means necessary, like there was days where I couldn't afford a cup of coffee, dog. You know what I'm saying? But I woke up, you know what I'm saying, got to my station because I'm like, yo, once this, and then people talk to me like, yo, how did I'm like, yo, I'm good at once this drop is on, bro. And, you know, I did see the satisfaction of that coming to pass. You know what I'm saying? I really believe the greatest revenge is success. You know what I'm saying? And when you can, you know what I mean? When you don't got to have hatred in somebody, you know what I'm saying, towards somebody because he said something, you know what I mean? You can just be, okay, that's what they thought, and I proved them wrong, and keep it pushing.
But you know what the thing is, even to touch on that right there, like sometimes when people say things and they try to talk you out of it, it's not their hate. It's not hate. Sometimes it's them living in their own fear, right? His voices, Hot 93.7, Hot 937. Big man here. I got my brother Tyrone on the line. ZeroSnake Media, right? It's them living in their own fear. And sometimes I've learned this from talking to a number of people. Sometimes people, they care about you to a fault, meaning that the last thing that they want to see is for you to fall on your face. And sometimes that might be a part of your journey. That bump in the road might be a part of your journey, but they don't want to see it happen because sometimes people know if I give it a try and it don't work that first time, I'm not doing it again. But they might not know that you have made up in your mind.
Right.
It might not work the first time. It might not work the second time. It might not work the third time. It's going to work at some time. And so I'm going to keep going until it works, right? Because if it was if it was as easy as I'm going to start and everybody's going to join on board, then everyone would have it, right?
Right.
See,
Yep.
these roadblocks, they're put there to test your belief system in you. So I want you to know, for anyone who's trying to start anything, if you're trying to start today, just know you're going to hit a wall. You're going to hit a roadblock. There's going to be people telling you that you sound crazy. And when they tell you that you sound crazy, you take it with a smile, because then, right then, you know that you're on to something. Because when you do something to the point where it makes other people say that you are crazy, right? You sound crazy, smile. You are on the right path, because they're not supposed to understand your dream. It's your dream. It's not theirs. See, they're looking at it from that perspective. You're looking at it from what you know about you.
Right.
So
absolutely,
when you
man.
believe enough in yourself, all of that crazy talk, all those naysayers, none of that's going to be able to knock you off.
Yeah, that's true. It just like ping pong off of that, man. You're absolutely right. You have to be prepared to hear no sometimes, even in cases like when I'm applying for a grant or whatever. You know, I might have my hopes up, or even I might have got funding from them before, and you hear back and no, not this time. You know what I mean? And that could be crushing. But one thing you have to take as a professional, that no doesn't mean no. It just means not this time. You know what I'm saying? So rise up, man. Rise up. Stay at it. Definitely.
Man, you hear this, brother? You hear this, brother? Now, I've said this on the air. No means not right now. No, not right now. They'll come back around. They'll come back around. If you, it's voices. It's hot937, hot937.com. All right. Because Tyrone, I'm about to get on the team. I'll start running, man. Forget where we at. All right. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you follow and you read on any success stories, if you study successful people, you study those people who are wealthy right now, those people who have quote unquote made it, you follow their story, because we see the end result. You can see the result every day. Your favorite artist, what you're seeing is the end result of all these doors being closed in their faces and stuff like that. You will see that there's a string of no's attached to that success. People who said no to them, people who turned them down, people who, doubted them, people who told them that their idea sounds crazy. All of those different things, right? The one common denominator is that they never gave up. They never gave up on themselves. They believed enough in themselves to say, okay, you might not believe it now, but it's going to happen. I'm going to see you when I get there, right? And so what we have to do is make the commitment to ourselves to be humble enough that when we get to that point, we don't do that, No.
Right.
You go to them, and if they come to you, you shake their hand. Nah, I understand, because we're explaining it to you right now. It's not hate. Everything is not hate when it's not in line with what you want it to be. It's not necessarily hate. Sometimes it's their fear. All right? And fear
That's a good perspective,
a monster. Man. Fear can be a monster, because if you break it down, letter for letter, false evidence appearing real. So fear can look real, but it's that false evidence, right? That's what it is. And you have to understand.
I like that.
When you can understand and break it down, that's when you'll be able to overcome it. Stop running away from the fear and run through it. When you run through it, because on the other side of that fear is your greatest accomplishments. We got to stop running away from our fears. The fears, all of that stuff is put there. All of those roadblocks are put there for a purpose, to see how bad you really want to win. And when you knock that thing down and you get on the other side of it, you be like, oh, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Right.
But see, that roadblock combined with that fear will make everything look like the worst thing in the world. And so our challenge, and I'm saying our challenge because this brother already challenged himself. So our challenge to you out there who's trying to get started and do something similar to what this brother is doing is knock that fear down, attack it head on, man. And you could be the next person here talking about your project, because what he's doing with Unrivaled and everything with ZeroSnake Media and everything, man, this stuff is phenomenal. This stuff is phenomenal, and it's going to change lives because it's going to inspire. Someone's going to be inspired from this. And I mean, one more time, I want you to give out your information and how people can follow you, how people can find out more about what you're working on, how people can, get the book, get the merchandise and everything else, man.
Word up, man. Definitely. Please check me out at www.zerosnake.com. That's ZeroSnake. You can check me out on Instagram too at zerosnake.media. Tons of cool stuff over there. And then for the last thing, for those hip to Patreon, find at patreon.com/unrivaled, and you'll find tons of exclusive stuff over there. Even we just started adding coloring pages over there for the kiddies. So.
Now, what was the app? The app also that they could get?
Thank you. Yeah. The app is called Black Sands Publishing. You can get it on your Apple and Android right now. And,
wow.
Yeah, get started reading. Have fun, man. Meet me over in the comments section.
That was featured on Shark Tank as well? Black Sands?
Yeah. Their company, Black Sands, was recently on Shark Tank, and they secured a deal. They're working on some animated material too. So,
wow,
a lot of good stuff going on in our community, man.
Yeah, and I mean, the anime community is huge because, there's some people who I followed they were doing sketch comedy. And then all of a sudden, you start to find out that they have this whole other thing with anime. And now all of a sudden, they go from the sketch comedy side to like everything is about anime. And I'm like, all right,
wow.
Wait a minute. This is a whole different world over here. This is a whole different world. But I think what we have to do is always look outside the box, because a lot of times we'll run towards that thing that's comfortable for us. But sometimes the thing that's not really that comfortable, that's where you need to be. That's where you need to be, because I'm sure, doing the book wasn't probably comfortable for you, especially after a while. Once you're like a year or two in, it kind of got uncomfortable. I'm sure, doing it the way that you did it, and then, probably the sleepless nights that you had and hearing those voices in your head and knowing what people have already said when you started the project before you even told them, I'm going to go from right to left. And they're telling you, man, you going to do what? Oh, nah. And then you hit them with the right, oh, really, nobody's going to check it out now. Probably had those voices in your head that kept you up at night, right?
Right.
But you kept going because it was the uncomfortable thing to do. But now things are starting to get comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
It's starting to get comfortable because I don't even know if maybe, because sometimes when you get in the middle of it and you're steamrolling, it doesn't hit you until later on, and you look back and it's like, how did I end up with 9 different businesses happening off this one thing? And have you, before today, had you had an opportunity to really take a step back and look at it and be like, whoa, how did I?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. If you'd have told me while I was drawing the pages that I'll have a sneaker commemorating the book being released, I wouldn't have believed you. So, yeah.
See, that's the crazy part about it. We, and we have to embrace all this stuff as it's coming. And sometimes it's not a good thing to slow down. It's not a good thing to slow down, man. It's just like keep taking it blow after blow after blow. And you might want to rest. I mean, I'm sure you probably had those nights where you got a little bit of sleep. Just like close your eyes and jump right back up. But these are part of the sacrifices. You may have sacrificed hanging out with the fellas. May have sacrificed being at all the hottest parties that everyone's still talking about now a few years later. But all of that was worth it because now you're starting to create a legacy. You're starting to create a legacy right now. You have something that you can pass on from generation to generation, right? Because once this thing starts to grow and grow and grow and get out of control, where you like, man, hold up, I'm gonna have to hire some folks. Now I'm gonna have to hire some people to take on this and take on that. Once you get to that point, man, it's right then, it can't be stopped. It can't be stopped if you can stop it, right? Yeah. And so, when I always look at it like if it was good enough for the Walton family on Sam's Club and Walmart and all of that, then it's good enough for my family. It's good enough for my family. And we can have the same story where, you just have to make that decision that I'm going to be the one to break the curse. I'm going to be the one so that, when my great grandkids, when they look back and they're trying to figure out how did we get to this point? How did we become this family who does this, that, and the other? And they could pull out the book and say, "You see that picture right there?
Right.
Grandfather. That's your great
Grandpappy.
grandfather Tyrone. He had the
Word.
idea, and he was an artist, and he did this. You know, why can't we dream like that? It might sound crazy to somebody who's listening right now, but is it really crazy? Let's think about the people who didn't think it was crazy, who right now is shopping in their stores.
Right.
Let's think about those people. Let's think about the people who didn't think it was crazy, and we're using the products right now.
Right. And
think about that.
Just to keep it in Connecticut, man, ESPN started off like a small little shack. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Word.
Exactly. I'm old enough to remember when ESPN first came on the airways. Ooh, let's not talk about that. But I mean, you look at stuff like that. You look at stuff like that. You know,
that's what Jesus made of.
And sometimes it's just taking a risk and believing enough that you know what, if this doesn't work, then on to the next. If this doesn't work, then on to the next. If this doesn't work, then we'll move on to the next. But let's constantly be in a forward motion, and let's not get down on ourselves. Let's keep that belief system in place, because trust and believe, if you put that machine of you behind it, you can make it happen. All right. I have this brother Tyrone on the line today because he came to me, and he was bold enough to open his mouth because he represented himself as his own corporation. Just like you proud to tell somebody, "Oh, I work for so-and-so, I work for so-and-so." He was proud to tell me, "Look, my name is Tyrone. I have ZeroSnake Media. This is my book. It's called Unrivaled." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna check it out." You know, and he said, "But hold up, check this out. The book is written from this to this." And I really stepped back. I was like, hold up, what? And he told me again. I said, "Yo, brother, you know, I want to have you on my Voices show. I want to have you on my Voices show to talk about this." And so we have to be bold enough and confident enough to stand behind our product where we're willing to tell people about our product boldly. Because this brother was like, "No, I'm not finished, man. I'm not finished. Listen to this. This is the part that's going to get you, and that's the part that got me." You understand? So we have to believe enough in it that we are going to go all out for it. And you did that. You understand? And that's what put you on this Voices show. And hopefully this will catapult things for you, and people will understand. And a lot of people are going and Googling what you have going on right now, because what you have, to me, is the groundwork. Is the groundwork for an actual machine, man. You have put together something special here. You've used your talents. You tapped into your talents. You tapped into your greatness, and you created a legacy for yourself and your family, right? Because it's not about if this thing wins, it's already winning. You have created multiple ways for it to win, because it's not just relying on the book. It's like, okay, you don't want the book? Well, how about this? I got the sneakers here. Oh, check this. I know you. I see you got this T-shirt. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, your kids, they like little. Boom, I have this. Oh, you know what?
Any backpacks, anything.
Maybe you could, sign this petition and support what we're doing, because we want to put this in all schools for kids who, are artists and stuff like that. Kids who are into the arts. We want to do this, that, and the other. See, you have so many sales pitches that you can give people that at some point they're gonna be like, you know what? Wait a minute, let me check this out, man, because this guy right here, he ain't gonna give up on me. And that's how you're supposed to do. Because if you're not gonna give up on something else, I've seen people argue to the point of almost fighting about their favorite basketball player. You know what? Argue about you and your company and your product like that, and you will never, ever lose. Tyrone, listen, brother, first and foremost, I want to thank you for taking the time to be on this show. And I want to allow you again to give your information to people and how they can find your information, how they can support what you're doing, list all your products, whatever the case may be. Go right ahead.
Got you. Appreciate you inviting me on, man. I don't even meet you, dog.
Absolutely.
If y'all want to support me, I really appreciate it. It'd be www.zerosnake.com. And from there, you can see everything, especially find the hot thing you're talking about right now is Unrivaled, that graphic novel. When you do that, you giving your child, like, depiction of himself. You know what I'm saying? If you come from color, people of color. Instagram, you can find me at ZeroSnake.media. You can check out some animation over there, some projects we're working on. Got a new Maccabee book about to drop on there too. And last but not least, patreon.com/unrivaled. There you get some exclusive deals, and you guys gonna see everything behind the scenes before anybody else do. So once again, much love to y'all. And if y'all want to see more Unrivaled on social media, you can put #Unrivaled Manga, and you all set.
Yeah. Ooh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Listen, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another powerful, powerful, powerful episode of Voices. Big man here, my brother Tyrone Motley, ZeroSnake Media.
Salute. Peace to the
Brother,
Saints. Yes, sir.
Peace and love to you, man. Much success to you. Keep doing what you're doing. And listen, we want to have you back again to talk about the next thing that you're working on.
Definitely, man. Sign you will be popping off at all times. Yo, y'all stay locked. Hot 93.7.
Let's go.